My name is Margaret O'Connor. I was born September the 10th, 1938 at the Bessie M. Burke Memorial Hospital.
I'm Frank O'Connor, and I was born in Lawrence. I'm what they call a depression baby. I was born 1934 at the height of the 1929 market crash.
Lawrence was a very safe city when I grew up. Everybody took care of everybody. You have an expression today, it takes a village. Well, we had a village. In those days, the mothers didn't work. I mean, the mothers just didn't work. So my mother was home, and if somebody else's mother wasn't home, kids could come in. I mean, it just was a different attitude. At that time, Lawrence had what was called a residency requirement.
Okay.
So the Lawrence Police, the Lawrence Fire, the Lawrence Teachers, the Lawrence City Hall employees, Department of Public Works, all these people lived in the city. And I think that was, in some ways, a contributor to the safety of the city. But I think that was a hallmark of bringing up our family in Lawrence, that people that worked in Lawrence lived in Lawrence.
There was very little crime. I think crime would be like stealing apples out of your pantry or pears out of your pantry. That was a crime. You know, the police would even chase you if you got stealing apples. That was a terrible thing.
The big crime was missing school, and if the police found you, they just take you right home or take you right back to school. So there was like no truancy either. Later on, as I grew up, I went to school, went to college, became a teacher, eventually got on the Lawrence School Committee. And I became passionate about bilingual education. My feeling and my strongest feeling is that if you don't speak English, you're not going to succeed. And I studied it. And I really began to feel that the bilingual education that we were offering at the time was in fact a form of segregation. We kept children out of the mainstream, and they were not taught by good English-speaking teachers. And I found that, because my degrees are in education, that if a child was so far along in English, he was so far along in Spanish. So if you were reading at the second grade level in English, you were reading at the second grade level in Spanish.
Okay, so since we're on Essex Street, do you remember how it was? Was it completely different?
Completely different. It was wonderful.
Well, no malls. You had to go there. You couldn't go to the Tuna Mall. You couldn't go to the malls in New Hampshire. That was the only place to go. Tuesday night especially, all the stores would stay open till 9 o'clock. There'd be thousands. You couldn't walk on the sidewalk.
People would come from Lowell. People would come from Haverford. It was social. The city paychecks came out on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So you didn't have direct deposit. You had to go to the bank. All the teachers would get, this was I think Moran's. Was this Moran's?
Yes, this was Moran's.
Yeah. The teachers would go to Moran's after they catch their check. You know, it was just, people dressed up.
Moran's was just a restaurant. Come here and coffee and go and
people dressed up on Tuesday.
Boys had to wear coats and ties.
I mean, they dressed up, but they were coming down. And this was a social, but it wasn't drinking or anything. It was like shopping and meeting people and going to the bank, and you know, it was just, it was thriving. So what I'm trying to say is, this was a good city to bring your children up. And until the 70s or 80s, in the 80s. And then the time of the drugs came in, my children were in high school, and the time when they had the real arson programs. I was very fortunate. My two boys were in Ireland that summer, so they missed that really, really bad summer. You know, when we began to see the city turn. You know, and now, and I don't want to end on a negative note, because I do feel the city is turning again. I really and truly do feel that we're beginning to increase the number of policemen that we have, and you just have to do that. We're beginning to, the mayor is trying to improve the quality and the quantity of the employees. I do see that even if we had some really tough times in the 80s and 90s, that the city is on an upswing.